If you're an Airbnb host, you've probably seen the AirCover marketing. $3 million in damage protection, $1 million in liability, free with every listing. It sounds like you're covered, right? Well, here's the problem. Most hosts don't actually find out what AirCover actually excludes until they file a claim. And by that point, it's too late. That is what we're going to be talking about today. Let's do a quick introduction before we get into it. I'm Cody. This is the Threshold STR channel. We're a short-term rental insurance and risk advisory firm. We work with short-term rental operators to help them understand what their coverage actually does and where the gaps are. We're going to be publishing regular content here, breaking down the insurance and risk side of owning a short-term rental. The stuff that doesn't really come up until something goes wrong. Let's get into it. Here's the first thing that you need to know. AirCover is not insurance. It's a reimbursement program. That distinction matters a lot more than people realize. So insurance is a contract where the insurer promises to cover specific events and pays when those things happen. AirCover, on the other hand, reimburses you for specific scenarios that Airbnb has predefined. And remember, it only applies to Airbnb bookings. It doesn't apply to VRBO, direct bookings, or anything off-platform. AirCover won't apply at all for those. The damage protection side, where a guest breaks furniture, damages the floors, that part works reasonably well for what it is, but the liability side is where things get complicated. AirCover's liability coverage has what's called an ordinary negligence exclusion. Ordinary negligence means you failed to maintain something. It's a hazard you didn't address, a safety issue you didn't fix, or a risk that you did not warn your guests about. So in practice, that could look like this. A guest slips on an icy deck that you didn't treat. This is ordinary negligence, but AirCover denies it. A guest gets hurt on a broken stair that you knew needed fixing. Again, ordinary negligence, denied. A guest injures themselves in your hot tub or a pool feature that wasn't properly maintained, denied. And here's the part that matters the most. Ordinary negligence is the most common type of liability in short-term rentals. It's not a rare scenario. It's actually the most common thing to happen at your property. So that $1 million liability coverage that Airbnb markets so heavily excludes the exact type of claim that you're most likely to face. On the other hand, proper short-term rental liability insurance covers ordinary negligence. That is the whole point of having it. So it's underwritten specifically for short-term rental operations, meaning someone actually evaluated your property type, your guest volume, your risk profile, and that applies to all of your bookings, not just Airbnb. The hosts who are in the best position carry both. AirCover handles guest damage reimbursement on Airbnb stays, and then a real STR liability policy is your actual financial protection when something serious happens. Those are two different things doing two different jobs. So what does this mean for you? Here's what I'd say is worth doing this week. Go and read the actual AirCover terms. Not their marketing page, the actual terms document. Find the ordinary negligence exclusion and read what it says. It's worth understanding exactly what you have. Then go call your insurance agent and ask them directly. If a paying guest gets injured at my property due to a maintenance issue, am I covered? Get a clear answer from them. If you want a starting point, we do have a free risk tool at thresholdstr.com. That's our website. It'll take only about 5 minutes, and it's going to show you exactly where your actual exposure is across your current existing coverage. We also do work directly with hosts on placing proper STR insurance if that's a conversation you want to have. Either way, the goal is just so that you know what you have before you need it. If you found this useful, please do subscribe. We're going to continue publishing content like this. Also, feel free to drop a comment if there's a certain kind of video you want to see or a topic covered. Happy to do that as well. Until next time, take care. Looking forward to the next one.